Hold on to your vinyl. It's ProgHat.
Hello everybody, welcome back, and thanks for being here and clicking on this video. In this video I'm going to talk about my favorite rock band of all time, The Who, and their album Live at Leeds. One of the best hard rock live albums of all time. What inspired this video really is because over the weekend, and I'm going to show it, I found this copy for 50 cents. Live at Leeds. Yes, I needed it. I have this copy and another one I'll be showing in this video, and it's the old school looking Rainbow MCA records. This sounds great to me. No, it's not that one with all the inserts, but you never know, I might find that one too as well. So what inspired, like I said, is that I found a copy and I thought, you know, I've never talk about too much about live albums, so why not talk about your favorite band? Live at Leeds. Great hard rock live album. The Who have released a lot of live albums, and some are uncut and edited. There's a lot of them, just like there's a lot of bootlegs out there of The Who live. Do I have an interest in getting a lot of those? I did at one point when I was younger, but not that much anymore. I had one, and being a Who fan that I am, this might get me kicked out of the club, but I traded it. But doesn't mean I didn't like. I didn't really want to go down that rabbit hole collecting a bunch of bootlegs. So, but I do have some of my collection. I have that one, the Fillmore E. Some of the ones I do have of live albums of The Who are on CD. And I have another live Who album that was gifted to me by Steve from All the World's a Stage. It's a triple live album, and that sounds really, really good. So the sound engineer around this time was a gentleman by the name of Bob Pridden, P-R-I-D-D-E-N. Recorded 34 tour dates from the Tommy Tour from 1969. Did all these recordings for a live album, and so this album was recorded at Leeds at the university, which is, I believe, in Yorkshire in England. Recorded on Valentine's Day to an audience of like 1,500 people. And before I get more into this review, I'll never forget, and I had that memory. When I first got this album, it was on cassette. It was around one of my birthdays. My mom took me to a record store, and she said, go in there and get a couple of your favorite albums you want. And at that time, I was buying cassettes. So I remember the two cassettes that I got. Who, Live at Leeds, and yes, Drama. Those were my two picks on cassette. And I used to listen to Live at Leeds on cassettes with headphones and would fall asleep just listening to the album all the night through. And one of my favorite things was to listen to the live version of My Generation. Oh man, it's just so good. Some other things that I read, that Townsend was mixing this out, mixing the recording for this album at home, but he couldn't get rid of a lot of the crackling noises. So he took off the Tommy, where they play the whole Tommy section, and the track A Quick One. He took those off and just made they just made a straightforward 5-song live album. And that's how I always thought of it. I didn't know what Leeds, Live at Leeds, I don't know where that was. I thought maybe it was some concert hall. I thought these were the only recordings as a kid, I'm talking about. I thought these were the only recordings, and man, they come out guns a-blazing with the first track, Young Man Blues, just that guitar intro, and they just get right into it and just start playing some of the amazing hard rock blues. So I didn't know any better. I thought that this was the whole show, and I was content with it. I'm still content with it. I'll probably play more than the version I'm fixing to show you. So they went for making this record. They went for a hard edge sound, and that was accomplished. Some say it's been inspired. Some folks say this is an inspiration to heavy metal. Just putting it out there. I can see that. If you listen to some of these tracks, they get heavy, and some of Townsend's guitar work, it really is hard driven, and it's under 40 minutes, which was fine for me. You know, when I was young, I didn't think anything about how long records were. I would just flip it back over and start it over, and then flip it back over, or if I listened to it on cassette, I'd flip the cassette over and start all over again. But now there's a couple of editions you can get. You can get a 2 CD edition, or you could get the 40th anniversary 4 CD edition, which includes the entire show live at Leeds and the entire show of the whole HULL concert, which, yeah, that is on my want list, but it is very pricey. And like I said, I used to fall asleep listening to this album on cassette a lot. And some other things is that this live album has the same kind of vibe as live albums like the Rolling Stones' Get Your Ya-Ya Out, Cream, Wheels of Fire. They got that vibe, that energetic, that live energy, that thunderous, that non-stop hard rock sound to these records, and I simply just love them. I don't have Wheels of Fire, and I don't have Get Your Ya-Ya, but I still go out there and I look for those. And so let me show you the other version I had. I got this, I don't remember, from an auction. Here's this, my other version of Live at Leeds, which is 1, 2, 3 album set. And as you can see here, it's the entire, excuse my fingers there, the entire show of Live at Leeds. And as you can see, those 2 tracks seem to end the concert right there, My Generation and Magic Bus. After the Who do the whole album Tommy, they start off with Heaven and Hell and I Can't Explain, and I love the live version of Fortune Teller and Tattoo. I mean, just so good. I will go on to say that the live album too has that energy of being punkish and real grungy, like the real early sound of grunge. These are just my thoughts, and let me just put this out there, folks. These are just my thoughts. It doesn't mean I'm right about anything, or my thoughts are better than anybody else's. This is just the way I perceive, and how much that I love this record, and probably won't ever get tired of talking about it when I'm with other Who fans, which it's really rare because I don't have any Who friends. But anyway, but other things that I can really say about this 2 album, it's that it's energetic, it's raw, it's noisy, and I like that, which tells me there's no overdubs here. I'm just going to say that. That's just my opinion. This is a straight up live recording. It's rebellious, and I like that. And it's I've already said that it's totally in your face. The tracks here that were picked for this are just, they're good. I mean, it has Young Man Blues, Substitute, Summertime Blues, Shaking All Over, My Generation, Magic Bus. There it is. And the tracks that stand out to me about it is Young Man Blues is one of them. Love the guitar playing on that and that riff. Oh man, and it's got that metal edge. The drum rolls of Keith Moon, one of my favorite drummers. Another standout track to me is Shakin'. Love those heavy guitar licks. I mean, it's like heavy guitar playing, like what you hear on Deep Purple or Led Zeppelin. I mean, Townsend, guitar chops. He brought his A game to these recordings. The other standout track for me too is the long close to 15 minutes of My Generation, the blistering. I love the part where it goes into that Amazing Journey, I think, or the Sparks, where it says to see me, feel me. Love that part of the song. And he does a lot of improvisation, if I said that correctly, and those blues licks. That's another thing I want to say about this album, that how much the Who was so dedicated to rock and roll, and this is a good document of it. And Townsend shines on that, on the My Generation live track. Magic Bus, oh man, I just get chills when he says Magic Bus, and the crowd, they're like waiting for that. You know, they go into that great cheer, that Bo Diddley beat. I mean, they just carry this song into the night. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall or to go into a time machine back to this concert. I bet it was just amazing to be there, to see my favorite rock band up there doing these songs live. And you know, this album came out right after Tommy, and you know what an amazing album Tommy is, one of the best rock operas. And to come out with a live album, I don't think the Who were any pressure to like, how are you going to follow up Tommy, or what's the next fall? Is it another? They just came out simply with a pure live rock and roll record. My final thoughts, check it out. That's one of them. Also, yeah, for live albums, I would love to see this album saved, put out there in a space capsule and played out there to whoever has ears can listen to a great rock and roll record. And one other thing, I hear the devotion of the Who to rock and roll and blues. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment, share your thoughts about Live at Leeds with me. I'd love to hear it. Is it one of your favorites? Let me know one of your favorite live tracks on this album. But anyway, thanks for being here, and I'll see you on my next video. Take care.